Right now at noon, tracking Fred, the tropical storm expected to pass through the Dominican Republic today after forming last night.
And Florida remains in the cone of uncertainty, with Fred possibly approaching our state by this weekend. So we have our meteorologist Luke Dorris staying very busy watching this.
Hopefully it'll just be a rain event, right?
Yeah, well, you know, we're going to learn a lot today,
Okay.
Christy and Janice. Today's going to be very telling about Fred's future. And the other thing is the odds of a really disruptive, big wind event look pretty low. And oftentimes with tropical storms, your biggest threat does come from rain and flooding and that kind of thing. No major changes with the 11 a.m. advisory. We do certainly have unknowns, but the winds are at 45 miles per hour as it's centered on the south side of the Dominican Republic, moving west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. And the forecast remains the same as a 45 mile per hour tropical storm trekking near South Florida, the Florida Keys, or just some of the nearshore Gulf waters by Friday night, Saturday morning. All right, so let's take a look at it on satellite. Last night, we were watching this clump of thunderstorms thinking that the center of the storm was underneath that. But you see that jog to the north. As it approached the San Juan radar, we saw, oh, the center's further north. Uh-oh, because if that's the case and that becomes the dominant low, then it could skirt around some of these tall mountains. You would have thus had a stronger storm on the opposite side of those, and that would have meant impacts for us. But now you can see how it's tracking headlong toward those tall mountains. And on top of that, it's not looking great on satellite. It's not a very healthy system. So you've got an already struggling system headed toward tall mountains. That's a recipe for it to take a pretty big dent today. We will know more just how disrupted it gets throughout the day today, especially by tomorrow morning. Betty and Brian are going to be walking you through that throughout the day and just see what's left of it over here. There's a chance it's just got to start from scratch at ground zero, and there's not much left of it. But the forecast is there is some semblance of a circulation, so it weakens down to a depression as it parallels the Cuban coast. Now from there, is it going to ramp up in intensity real quickly? Doesn't look like it because it still has dry air around it and unfavorable upper level winds down the line. So by the time it's near us, probably won't be able to strengthen all that much. That's why the forecast is 45 miles per hour. But we'll bear in mind, if it does still track on the right side, that could be a stronger storm. We'd still be thinking most likely tropical storm at that point. And if it's on the Gulf waters, it'd be even weaker. But the models have been pretty tightly clustered around the middle and lower Keys. As I mentioned, rain probably the biggest threat, 4 inches plus through Sunday. That plus means some spots could see 6 inches. That could mean some flooding. Once it's in the Gulf, if it does track there, conditions do look better. Could be a stronger storm. The forecast by Monday morning is a 65 mile per hour tropical storm. And I know that we have some parents that may be moving students into FSU this weekend, so something to watch there. And also compared to what we had a month ago with Elsa, which took a somewhat similar track, so it could be back-to-back Florida Panhandle landfalls. We'll see. One other thing, there's another one out there. We're watching a disturbance in the deep tropics. We'll keep an eye on that, but for now, let's focus on Fred.